Welcome. This is the free live event, How to Get Started on a Health and Weight Loss Journey. If you are new here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Renee Paulson. I'm a recovering food and sugar addict and also a healthy living and nutrition coach. Not only did I lose over 100 pounds myself and keep it off for years, I now help other women do the exact same thing. Lose weight, learn moderation. A lot of people think because I call myself the sugar detox coach that means I'm anti-sugar, which is not the case. I cannot live my life without cookies. I teach moderation as part of recovering from food and sugar addiction. And a lot of people really struggle with food and sugar addiction without even knowing it, just because there's hidden sugar in literally everything, which is the whole reason behind that. So if you are new here, thank you so much for joining. I would love to hear where you're coming from. Today we're talking about how to get started on a health and weight loss journey. Now, for years I struggled with my weight, and I just kind of did that whole cycle and the diet and the binge cycle, and I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to lose this much weight, blah, 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 blah. And really, went about it as well, I'll just eat healthy and work out and I'll lose weight, right? And sometimes that doesn't always work. And a lot of people think, well, it's a very simple formula. And there are simple parts to that formula, but the formula as a whole actually has kind of several parts, not just eat healthy and work out, because I will tell you that didn't ever work for me. And I would end up feeling like I was starving. And then I would eat whatever, because I was just I don't even care at this point. I just want whatever it is, probably a corn dog or something. I love corn dogs. And go on this huge binge and eat all this food and be beat myself up. Now, okay, I gotta get back at it, blah, blah, blah. And it never was what would work for me. And even if I did losing weight, one time I remember I lost a significant amount of weight. I think it was 40 or 45 pounds. That's a good chunk of weight, man. And I gained it right back. And it was because I had the mentality of dieting, and that I need to diet or severely restrict my calories. And I see this so often, especially with women, that we don't fully know how to actually feed ourselves or how to do this. And so we end up struggling. And then, honey, let me just tell you, if you are over the age of 35, that shit is not easy anymore. It doesn't get any easier. It actually gets more difficult. So the more you actually have to really know about your body, but also know in terms of health and nutrition, what's going on. So that's why a lot of times when you have those, well, I'm just going to eat healthy and work out and lose weight, then either you fall off or you don't lose weight, or a lot of people have been well, I keep doing this and I haven't lost any weight, or I haven't, I should have lost more weight, or whatever it is. That's because you don't really have the full, complete picture to what's going on when you're trying to do a health and a weight loss journey. Now, I do say health and weight loss because they do go hand in hand. I don't just talk about weight loss as part of, you're just losing weight and, you're going to target belly fat. That's a non-existent thing. If someone tells you that you're targeting belly fat, they're lying to you. Fat is not targetable. It's a fat all over the whole entire body. But I don't just target, it's not just about fat. It's also talking about health, especially as a female. When you get over the age of 35, it starts to become more and more important. Your belly fat, we're talking about visceral fat then at that point. Why is that important? Because visceral fat is all packed around your organs, which is no bueno for those things. They don't like that fat. Things can happen. So that's what we're talking about. And it's also in terms of health. Right? So looking at that as a whole complete picture and not just going, well, I want to lose 20 pounds really fast. I belong obviously to several weight loss groups, and I see a lot of people where, I want to lose 20 pounds by the summer. Well, honey, if you want me to be real with you, you should have started a while ago, because it's not just about losing that weight for this short amount of time. That again goes into that dieting mentality, which will end you up in a cycle where you gain that weight back. It's a giant cycle. So without knowing how to do weight loss and health in the long term, it's a short-term fix that you always have to continue to fix over and over again, because you haven't taken the steps to set those things in place for long-term success. Short-term is hey, I'm going to do keto and lose 20 pounds. I'm sorry if you like keto. From what I learned from Cornell University, keto is a short-term fix, especially if you struggle with blood sugar. There's several medical reasons to do keto. A lot of reasons that people like keto is because you can lose weight very quickly. However, if you've ever done keto, and you can shut that out when you start eating those carbs again, you gain that weight back, because cutting out an entire food group in life doesn't lead you to have a healthy long-term relationship with food. Yes, I'm the sugar detox coach, but I don't cut out sugar for life. I cut out sugar for small increments of time, if necessary, and then I go back to that moderation. So cutting out carbs, I don't agree with, and I cut out simple carbs, which is like cake and cookies and stuff, but your body needs those complex carbs in order to have energy to be able to move throughout the day. So some of these really simple four initial steps are going to lead you really to long-term success in health and weight loss. Okay. And some of these can be done, like literally these can be done today. They can start helping you immediately. The first thing, number one, is to make a plan. Now, making a plan doesn't mean I'm going to eat healthy and work out and lose weight. That doesn't equal a plan. I used to think that was a plan, and again, it never worked because it's not a plan. So really making a plan. What are you going to do? Okay, what workout are you going to do? If you're going to work out, what workout are you going to do? I highly, obviously recommend working out. Even if it's walking, walk 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, that's going to be better than absolutely nothing. So making a plan. What days are you going to go walking? What days are you going to work out? Who are you going to work out with? What music are you going to listen to when you work out? Do you have a playlist ready? If it's nutrition, how are you going to plan that out? It requires, especially nutrition in today's society, in today's day and age, food requires planning, because if you don't plan, you could be like, oh, I'll just grab some fast food option, which, yeah, you could get like, I don't know, a salad or something, from, I guess you could get Chipotle, but things like that, it's hard to grab quickly and know unless you are already prepared. The reason I know what restaurants, if I needed to grab something healthy quickly, is because I've been doing this a long time. So I know like, oh, I could go get a brown rice and, shredded chicken bowl from Chipotle and it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? So really preparing and making that plan, and knowing what you're going to do instead of trying to wing it, because winging it, man, it never works. It doesn't work with my eyeliner. It doesn't work with raising kids, and it's not going to work when you're trying to lose weight and get healthier, right? Especially the health part. If you're trying to do things like, I don't know, lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, lower your glucose, not go on insulin, those things are gonna require a plan. So sitting down, not avoiding it, just saying, this is a plan, this is my data, this is what I have to look at in order to get to my goal. A lot of times we don't want to make those plans because it feels very emotional, especially when we're talking about health and weight loss, especially when it comes to women in weight. We are very emotional about our weight and don't want to make plans, and it's like very, we avoid it at all costs. And avoiding it's not going to make it go away. So sitting down and trying to take that emotion out of it, just saying, this is data. This is where, here I'm at point A, I'm trying to get to point B and to point C and beyond. So here's the plan that I need to make to get those steps. And making a plan where there's small incremental steps where you can, they're measurable. Like I lowered my cholesterol, however many points, or, having those little measures in between so that you can kind of check those off to make sure that you're on your plan and you're going in the right direction. Now, the second thing is to get an accountability partner. This actually would be my number one thing, but making a plan is super important. That way you can at least, if you want to get an accountability partner, you at least kind of somewhat have a plan and you can discuss with the accountability partner. Now, this could be your spouse. Sometimes it can be your spouse, sometimes it cannot be your spouse, especially if your spouse struggles with their weight or food issues as well. They can be really hesitant. So if they don't want to, forcing it on a spouse ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. They're gonna get really angry at you. Trust me, my husband tried to do it to me because he was trying to make me healthier and, save my life and my organs. and I just got really angry and really combative and rah, that person has to make their own choice. So finding a person to be your accountability partner that wants to do it, wants to do it with you, is going to be committed, is going to help you. You don't want someone who's going to be wishy-washy. You don't want someone who's going to be like, oh, well, I can't show up to work out today because the dog is pooping. I don't know. That was a bad excuse, but if your dog's pooping, you could clean it up, I guess. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't want a wishy-washy person. An accountability partner, you want to show up for each other. So, if it's a person who's already healthy and they don't need, you to be them accountable, still ask, like, how can I help you on your journey? This isn't a one-way street. Helping each other and connecting in that way is really a really good way to form a bond. And especially when you're talking about health and weight loss, you need to have a good community of people around you that are going to support you in that, because, again, in today's day and age, it's very difficult. And the statistic that if you have friends or close family members that struggle with your weight, that you are more likely to then struggle with your weight just because of who we surround ourselves with. So having people who are really supportive of your health and weight loss journey and are on their own health journey that's going to be key. Now, side note, if you're like, wait a moment, I don't have anybody in my life that can fit this bill, like for reals, or I don't have anybody in my life that I feel comfortable trusting enough with this level of responsibility and, or this level of my own privacy and the things that I have to talk about. Maybe that feels weird to you to talk about, those things with the people that are closest to you. That's the time to look at getting an accountability coach or a nutritionist, a health coach, something like that. It doesn't have to be me. Obviously, I would always recommend myself. Not true. If I don't vibe with you, I would actually recommend you to a health coach that's going to help you. That's actually a good health coach. But definitely finding someone that you vibe with, that you trust, that you like their style, and that you're going to get along with is super important. But definitely getting an accountability partner or an accountability coach is going to take you from like this level to this level so much faster and so much less time and frustration in between, because yes, technically, obviously you can figure it out yourself. I did it. However, people are like, well, how'd you do it? And I'm like, years of like banging my head against the wall and just like being stubborn and trying to figure it out. And then I'm just learning and learning and learning and learning. So you can figure it out yourself. But I will tell you that I probably wasted, I wouldn't say wasted, because I did get results, but definitely I could have gotten there faster. Probably I would have cut off, I would say at least 2 years. Probably more. I would say almost 3. But because of the things that I learned that are super important that an accountability coach or a good nutritionist is going to help you with. Highlight the word good. Good. They need to know what they're talking about. And if you ask them a question and they don't have the answer to it, then they need to tell you like, okay, I will find the answer to that and then get you the answer. Not be like, no. Sorry. That's my own personal pet peeve. Number 3, that's really going to also help you. And for me personally, I have talked about this before, is I did not want to do this for a very long time. And I fought tooth and nail on doing it. And it's tracking my food. I didn't want to track my food. It sounded so annoying. It really did. And honestly, when you first start out, it kind of is annoying. And once you get the hang of it, it gets a lot better. Now, personally, I've used several different food tracking apps, like my FitnessPal and my Macros and the Weight Watchers one and something else. And then the one that I use now and the one that I've been using for years, and I use it for all of my clients, is Chronometer. I will put a link in the comments here if you want to go check out Chronometer. The reason I absolutely love Chronometer is because it doesn't just show you your calories. It doesn't just show you your macronutrients, meaning your protein, carbs, and fat, but it also shows your micronutrients, meaning your minerals and your vitamins, all the shit that you actually really need. Now, this is how I know that literally everybody is vitamin deficient, because I track all of my stuff on there, and I take a multivitamin now. My mom bitched at me my whole childhood, like, you need to take vitamins, and I just never listened. I never until probably maybe the last 3 years. I've been pretty regular on taking my vitamins, and especially very regular the last year, like staying very, very, very regular, taking them every day and trying to set a reminder, and the difference in how I feel and just how my nutrients look when I track my food. Now, anytime I start coaching someone new, I always have them just put in their food regularly what they think that they're eating healthy would be. Number one, the first thing I generally always see, besides everyone being vitamin deficient, absolutely 100,000% everybody is a vitamin deficient unless you're taking a multivitamin, is also for ladies, we're not eating enough protein, and most of the time we're not eating enough calories. Now you could be like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm eating enough calories, or I feel like I'm not losing weight. But if you're eating, let's say you're eating 1,200 calories, right? But your macronutrients are all jacked up, and you have like almost no protein. Let's say you're at 30% protein, but you're at 150% of your fat. That would be why that whole eating healthy and losing weight part, and exercising equal losing weight, doesn't quite work. That's why tracking your food is super important, because you've got to know what's going in if you want to hit health goals, and lose weight and do things like that. You can lose weight without doing that. It just takes a long time, and it's a lot harder. Let me just tell you, PS, a long time and a lot harder, because I did not track my food when I lived in Oregon, and I lost weight and I looked good, but not like I look now, and not how I feel like I feel now. And like it was so hard to even try and look like that. And now it's so much easier. So tracking your food, I love Chronometer. I highly recommend Chronometer. They do have a free version. They have a paid version, of course, which has a few more things, but you can do the free version and even just go in there and play with it and track your food and see what you think might be a healthy day of eating for you, and see, am I hitting my vitamins? Am I hitting my minerals? Am I hitting my protein, my carbs, my fat? Most of the time as people, we usually always hit our fat, because our bodies like that. Our bodies love fat. It's delicious. So we never have any trouble hitting that for the most part. It's the other thing, and especially, like I said, women with protein. I think that we think that we're getting enough protein, but we're definitely not getting enough protein, for sure. Like pretty much across the board from almost every, the dozens of clients that I've seen. So tracking your food, really, really key. And then the last part is, to move your body. And yes, that means workout, but also like if you hate working out, find the workout that you hate the least. That's going to be the key, because I'm going to tell you that people who work out regularly don't always feel like working out. I don't feel like working out regularly. Even there are times when I don't feel like going to jujitsu, and I'm like about to go choke somebody out, which sounds like a lot of fun, right? But there's times when people are like, I don't want to work out. And it's going to be like that. So doing the things that you hate the least, if you're like, well, I hate working out, and I hate walking, and I hate doing everything. You have to do something. It's just part of keeping that healthy body moving, and especially health reasons, blood pressure, cholesterol, your glucose, moving your muscles to get the protein out, like all of those things really have a lot of not just physical health benefits, but mental health benefits as well. So moving your body is really key. Now, yes, you could go do weightlifting. Yes, you could go do a Zumba class. You could go do walking. You could even put on a Beyonce song in your bathroom and jam out and work up a sweat. Don't do it in the shower, though. I've done a dance move in the shower, and I for real fell down, and like in a scary fall down way. It was bad. And I was like, an adult, I was like, why did I even do that? I know that I'm not supposed to do that. So don't dance in the shower. And if you're wet and you have tile floor, don't do it there either. Please, dear God, I don't want you to break your back. But find a way to just enjoy yourself. When I go down in my basement and work out, and yes, I know that I am very blessed to have a basement in my workout area in my basement. But I will tell you that I did this in the regular gym too, that I'm putting on music that I love, and I will dance, and I will sing, and I will jam out. Of course, my dancing and my singing is a little extra now. It's in my house, but honestly, if you're at the gym, I'd just be like, this is me. Enjoy yourself. Put on music that you love, and really just start to feel it and feel yourself. One of the biggest keys, I will tell you, with weightlifting that when I started weightlifting, because I will tell you, I told my husband, I am going on zombie mode, which basically meant, and this is what I told him, okay? I told him, the gym is the only place that you're allowed to tell me what to do, because I had no freaking clue. I went into the gym and I was like, and I don't know what all of this does. No idea on form. And he had been in gyms his whole life. I mean, dudes are always in the weightlifting machines and blah, 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 right? So I'm like, here's the only place you can boss me around, and I'm going on zombie mode, and I am just here to get it done as quick as possible so I can leave, right? I don't want to be here. I just want to be done with this. I know I need to do this for my health. I know it's going to help me lose weight and feel good and tone up and look good, but I don't want to be here. And so I would go in zombie mode, and honestly, my workouts were lackluster. Yes, I worked out. Yes, I got the benefits of working out. Yes, I lost weight. Yes, I looked better. But I will tell you that when I started to make a mind, muscle, body connection, I don't know if that made sense, but really start to feel it. And honestly, it was more about feeling strong, not about losing weight. And for me, especially being a strong warrior woman and really having that for myself and feeling pride, and then going in the gym and lifting weights and feeling strong really helped me connect to that workout, where before I had like absolutely no interest in it. The music also helped with that. And I will also tell you that the working out, that it was just better. It was just better. I got better results, better muscle definition. So moving your body in a way that you enjoy, the way that you can connect to, in a way that you can see yourself doing in the long term. Past whenever you're like, oh, well, I lost my 20 pounds, I lost my 50 pounds, I lost my 100 pounds, and now I'm done. Past that, because it still needs to be a regular if not an everyday exercise, but a regular part of your routine. That's what is the difference between short-term health and weight loss and long-term health and weight loss, is that building those habits and having those in your life, like tracking your food. I don't track my food 100% of the time, but I do probably about 80% of the time. Even still now, because I still want to know what's going in, and it just makes it easier. It takes that guessing work out of it. So building those habits that you can live with, that you can adopt, that are going to enrich your life and that are going to help you in the long term with your health and weight loss. So I hope that those tips were really helpful. Those really are the first 4 tips that I wish someone had pulled me aside and said, listen, if you really want to lose 100 pounds, here are these 4 blocks you need to be put in place. Otherwise you're going to start and it's going to, you're going to stop. You're going to try and, be confused, and you're going to be like, well, I feel like I'm not eating enough, or I feel like I'm eating too much. It takes literally all that guessing work out of it. And so if you just follow that plan, and especially, just a side note, if you have an accountability coach that knows all of those things and knows how to help guide you on that, then you're set. Once you kind of learn those initial things, then you can carry on throughout and like ride the wave. And it's really so much easier, honestly, and feels so much better, because you actually become successful at losing weight and getting healthier and feeling amazing, instead of feeling like, well, I don't know, or stuck or lost, or even if you hit a plateau, there's still things that you can readjust. That's why, again, it's important to look at what's going in and what's going on with your body. So I thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you enjoyed those tips. I would love to hear your comments and which tip you're going to try and implement today. If you're making a plan, let me know what your plan is. My plan is, hopefully, I think next week I'm going to get back into the gym weightlifting. Still kind of recovering from a tattoo, but I'm excited for that. Summer is coming. I think we're like, maybe like 10, I think we're like 9 or 10 weeks away from summer. Bathing suit time is ready. I'm excited. So if you are just starting out on your health and weight loss journey, know that you're not alone. And if you feel stuck or you feel lost, reach out to somebody. I urge you to join my free private group, Warrior Women for Weight Loss and Health. I will also put a link to that in these comments. You can reach out in that group. All the ladies in there, we're all there to support each other on our health and weight loss journeys and kind of figure it out together and just really support each other, because as women, that's what we should be doing. Like, enough of this whole cattiness. It's 2022. It's time to support each other. And you're an amazing warrior woman. I love you so much. I appreciate you being here with me. And I hope that you have a fantastic Tuesday. I think it's Taco Tuesday at my house. Ooh, that sounds exciting. I hope you have a good Tuesday. Even if it's not a Taco Tuesday, I will save a taco and eat one for you tonight. I love you bunches, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.